fait comme vous, on visite, on se balade un petit peu. Alors du coup avec...
guys, biathlon is not only about skiing fast and shooting clean, but also about this great atmosphere on the tribunes. So we count on you, we count on your voice to support our athletes.
Les cibles s'affichent, vous êtes prêts? Ça sera un tir.
Allez, allez, allez!
Ah, attention, sur la lessive, attention.
Très bien, et on entend ce public, ces 8000 personnes déjà qui nous accompagnent aujourd'hui à l'occasion de ce quatrième sprint de la saison.
Das war 6 Minuten.
Il y en a eu c'est incroyable, on a beaucoup de belles choses, les compétitions ouvertes, plusieurs années dans la foi, on est là à Australie, la semaine passée. Que va-t-il passer aujourd'hui? Ouais, trois sprints on le disait, donc jusqu'à présent, 3 vainqueurs différents. Anna Hubert qui avait remporté le premier. Le deuxième du côté de Sturgeon dans la station droite, vous avez c'est aujourd'hui
pour avoir un pour la Biathlon, ça peut être sympa, mais j'aimerais bien aussi voir les Françaises côté de ce podium.
Et oui, les Françaises qui sont montées sur la boîte depuis le début de la saison, 4 podiums pour nos tricolores et encore je parle des courses individuelles. Justine de les afficher qui est donc la dernière marche du côté de ce jeune Anaïs, avec une de même, avec une de même sur le toujours en relance.
Mais vous savez, il y a une autre important au fond de la piste. Et là, on a vraiment des athlètes qui aident en force avec la motivation, parce qu'il y a beaucoup de secondes à aller chercher.
Tout à faire sur ces portions-là. Vous avez entreaperçu les conditions météo, on est encore à... aller faire la place dans le premier groupe, il y a des logiques, mais pour être allé sur la piste, clairement, elle est bonne, elle est compacte, ça tient bien. C'est bien ça. Pour une très grande personne du monde du biathlon, c'était pas si mal.
Oui, effectivement, merci Guillaume, ça fait un petit peu difficile. Le travail de la c'est vraiment le monde du biathlon qui a fait profiter ce moment précis il y a quelques instants seulement du coup de cette première course pour rendre hommage et peut-être plus encore dédier cette Coupe du Monde complète à Christian Dumont, du pour les inscrits, un ancien athlète biathlète de haut niveau qui nous a quitté cet été victime d'une crise cardiaque à l'âge de 58 ans. Un vrai pionnier du biathlon qui entre autres a fait partie du premier relais français victorieux dans une Coupe du Monde. Il a derrière sa carrière été complètement compétition du biathlon, qui a révolu le biathlon pour arriver aujourd'hui à recevoir des milliers de spectateurs. Donc, comme tout le monde la connaît, c'est Billy qui a largement contribué au développement du biathlon de cette compétition au grand moment. On va demander pour lui, bien sûr, un hommage. C'est une minute d'applaudissement pour notre Billy.
Du coup d'envoi de cette première course, Anna.
2 minutes to the official kickoff before the BMW IBU World Cup 4 flag here in Annecy-Le Bornand.
Une dernière fois avant de rentrer dans cette minute, dernière minute d'attente. On aimerait encore un petit peu d'ambiance, la vraie, celle qu'on aime. Allez, tout le monde, 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 tout le monde. Et on va
So here we have the start number 1, Denise Herrmann. I must say her ski speed in the pursuit competition and the relay in Hochfilzen last week looked much improved. She did finish 3rd in the very first race of the season. That was missing only 1 target out of 20. But the ski speed hasn't entirely been there, what we have become used to expect from Denise Herrmann. I think we'll see most of that back today. So the starter allowing Denise from Bochau in the former East Germany, close to the Czech Republic border. Vastly experienced now, not just in biathlon, but also many years racing in cross-country skiing. Certainly the shooting has improved. Anyone who can hit 19 out of 20 in the first individual has a real chance, especially when you ski like this. So Denise Herrmann underway, and she really will be the pathfinder in terms of ski speed, and we'll have to wait and see how she copes with shooting. Well, there's a slightly nervous looking Tyrrell Eckhoff, bib number 10. And so she's only got about 4.5 minutes until she starts. Stremo from Moldova. Now there's a dynamic start. Her best so far is a 47th position. Now that was missing 2 targets up in Sweden, in Östersund. So with similar skiing today, I think best hopes if she hits 10 is a top 25. Now I've heard that Franziska Preutz may not start today. Yes, that seems to be the case. Trying to get more information on the issue, but she was in some doubt that she would start today. But looking further back, Hanna Sola. What a journey she's had into this season. Great summer work, huge improvement. Hanna Sola ranked 60th last year. She's already up into the top brackets in 2nd place this year. Lena Heike from Engelberg. She's been fluctuating. The results have been good and then a little off the boil from race to race, really, with a 53rd position and then a 15th and then 31st. And that was last weekend. 31st was just missing 1 target. Great to see the track there, very much undulating and steep, difficult climbs, more undulating than last week. Hanna Sola, what a fabulous season. I've mentioned she's had a 5th, a 3rd and a 1st in these 7.5 kilometer sprint races, so she's the one on form when it comes to the shorter distance. The track is lovely, and I think the firmness of the track and the snow conditions really won't alter much as the race goes on, so the timings and the ski speed will be fairly level. Todorova, first of the Bulgarian biathletes underway. 23rd her best so far this season. That was missing just 1 target, and that was the 2nd World Cup week of racing. up in Sweden. It's an easy start out of the stadium. In fact, you drop off as you pass around the spectators as Lotte Lea from Lillehammer. Great shooting in the prone position, not quite as strong in her stand position. Well, she's only missed 3 targets from 60 fired in the 20 short races. The pursuit, the 2 pursuits and the individual. Only missed 3 targets completely there. Breza Boucher, fastest ski time on Sunday in the pursuit competition. She didn't shoot well. She made up for it on the tracks. She'll want to put both of the disciplines together so well today. What a fabulous cheer from the spectators. Now is that going to assist her on the kilometers around this track here? Well, I think when you see Hanna Sola's tempo dropping off, you can just look at the size of that climb. You get a real indicator there of the severity of this climb. Well, it may well be the fastest time, but not by much. 0.9 of a second. That's only 700 meters, remember. And that's an indicator, 2 minutes and 7 seconds for only 700 meters. Normally you'd expect about 155. Just shows how steep that climb is. Well, here she is, Tiril Eckhoff. She won 7 consecutive 7.5 kilometer sprint races last season. Hasn't found those winning ways yet, but maybe it's today. Certainly her 0 looked good earlier when the rifles are tested for the sunlight, the wind conditions. It certainly looked good, so good luck to Tiril Eckhoff, and maybe today's her day to kick off her winning ways once again. 27-year-old from Pontresina, Aita Gasparin. Dynamic start. Best so far is with respect, 46th there. I was going to say only 46. She missed 2 on that occasion. I feel she's much better than that. She has moved from 46th to 30th in the pursuit competition. Lisa Theresa Hauser, she sampled yellow leading into her home venue, but it didn't go well. It's her birthday today, so let's hope for Lisa Theresa Hauser she can find her shooting and her ski speed today. So Breza just 0.6 of a second ahead of Sola. Dunja Stuic, second of the Austrians. In fact, last week at home they started one behind the other as well, the 2 Austrians, Hauser and Stuic. Well, it didn't help Hauser on that occasion. Hopefully it won't put her off on this occasion. Well, Tiril Eckhoff does like this venue. She had one of her first podiums here, a 3rd place, 2013. Incredible that she had won the last 7 World Cup events in this discipline leading into this season, but as I said a couple of times, hasn't found that magic yet. Well, the worst possible start when you miss the first shot. Everything's put in place, the alignments there, the breathing under control or not. But that seemed to create more discipline, a little more time in between each shot, taking 34 seconds in total. And that's quite a time on the range. I'll try and get, if we go back camera-wise, may get Denise Herrmann's time on the penalty loop. Lisa Theresa Hauser, good, strong and long reach up into the climb. And this is a good time, a strong start certainly for Lisa Theresa. It's a long time since a top biathlete or any biathlete won a World Cup on their birthday. I think we have to go back to 1998. And one of the Russian male athletes, yes, Vladimir Drachev, he won on his 32nd birthday. Hannah Öberg. Well, Hannah Öberg took the first win at home, week 1 in Östersund in Middle Sweden in the sprint competition. She'd love to win again the final sprint before the Christmas break. Heike, look at the time there, 11.7 to the first short release. That's from when she stopped skiing. Incredible quick time. And they've all gone down, so a great start from Lena Heike. That's going to be quite a time to beat. Just looking further on the track, actually her ski speed is some 17 seconds slower than Breza Boucher. Hannah Sola, well, it's still not impossible for a podium position, missing 1, so she has to, absolutely has to hit all 5 in standing. And off she goes around the penalty loop. Ingrid Landmark-Kandrevold. That's okay, a good start. Now Elvira Öberg, her elder sister, started just what, a minute and a half ago. She's been setting the fastest times in nearly every race except Sunday actually, but the ski speed is undoubtedly still there, and she certainly will be challenging the top 3 ski speeds again today. Well, there's a quick view on the entry into the range. It's very easy and mostly downhill for the last 500 meters. So huge moment for Justine Breza Boucher. You can just hear her breathing there. Desperately trying to get as much recovery time. Probably what, 17 seconds, 18 to the first shot. Well, 16.6. Struggling on the last shot, that's just running out of air. Holding her breath, rebreathing. It was worth it, so that's going to be over 30 seconds in total time on the range. So she will have lost some 8 seconds on today's fastest in terms of range time, but she can make up for that on the track. Well, while she was shooting, you may have seen Anaïs Chevalier-Boucher start her race. She has one podium in the sprint so far this year. That was in the first time of asking up in Östersund. So, Tyrrell Eckhoff, certainly the skiing so far, so good. Well, it's competitive. In terms of the lead ski time into the range, it was Breza Boucher. Tyrrell Eckhoff, 11 seconds off that. But her split time there is on Heike. She's 7 seconds up on Heike. All the evidence says that Tyrrell Eckhoff is back at her best in terms of her shooting confidence, her shooting speed. And there's Patrick Oberegger just sending that positive message out onto the track. Well, there we have it. So Tyrrell Eckhoff, totally fearless there and back to where she was last season through the rifle. And the ski speed's good. Yes, Eckhoff's ski speed on Sunday from the best in the world. She had the 3rd fastest ski speed, 22 seconds behind Breza Boucher. Gerald Hönig there scoping. He's German, scoping Lisa Theresa Hauser. Sub 10 seconds to the first shot. Well, that's a happy birthday so far. 5 out of 5 and 24.6. That is the fastest time so far. I think it might be beaten by 1 second. So it really is at the sharp end of risk the risk that you could actually carry into the range and still get away with it. And she's just 2.8 seconds behind Tyrell Eckhoff. So Annecy Bescon. So 2.9 inside the, well, that should be, yes, inside Tyrell Eckhoff's time into the range. Opting for 3 big breaths, so it'll probably reduce to 1 or 2. Well, that's 1, and then 1 big breath in between each shot from then on in. Perfect so far. Fantastic. That's the way to do it. So Annecy Bescon, fearless, and just 3.9 seconds behind. That's behind Eckhoff, so when she gets that information, that will turn her even more positive in terms of her fight on the track. Absolute concentration. I thought she was holding her breath. You could hear the gasp at the end of the 5th shot there. She really needed to suck more air in, but she absolutely got away with that. 5 out of 5. But you know, I think the conditions, wind flag still absolutely steady. I think we might see over 20 of the 107 athletes shoot the perfect score today. Just trying to get a view of the pulse watch there. Denise Herrmann, ideally for a podium she had to hit 10, but she's only hit 8, so 2 penalties for Herrmann. First time in for Hannah Öberg. And the worst possible start. Hannah Öberg, 10 seconds off Breza Boucher's ski time into the range. The shake of the head says it all from Jean-Marc Chablot, the Swiss coach for the Swedish team. Now then, winning ways on Sunday, a huge effort to win the pursuit competition, moving up from 3rd to 1st. What can Reuchlin do today? Certainly her game has been strong, very, very strong. She's had 2 first positions, 2 third positions, and 1 11th and 1 12th, so barely outside the top 10 this season. And she looks back to where she was 2 years ago when she won the overall title. Season-long title, a tough one to win. You can't have many bad days. Now then, Hanna Sola. Just she's 16 seconds ahead of Lena Heike, but remember she went round the penalty loop in prone position. Heike didn't. Oh, that's another. Well, 8 out of 10. She may ski her way out of trouble, missing 2 targets, Hanna Sola. And Elvira Öberg, another shake of the head. The Öberg sisters today. Jean-Marc is not overly impressed, to be honest. And Elvira, having hit 19 out of 20 on Sunday, I think Jean-Marc would have certainly expected better than just 3 hits out of 5 in prone shooting. So Elvira needs to hit all 5 in terms of standing if she wants a top 5 today. Well, there we have it. After the first shoot, it's Tyrell Eckhoff, Hauser, the birthday girl, in 2nd place. So, Agnès Chevalier-Boucher. The ski speed is good. Oh, the shooting speed is exceptional. How did she do that? Let's have a look at the total time. It was 25 seconds, but she did take 2-3 seconds longer to build her position. Was that a smile? I think it should be with that kind of performance, with the kind of pressure the French team are feeling today. So, Justine Brézat-Boucher. Oh, sometimes in a split second, in 1.7 seconds, you can throw so much away. And that was the case for Justine. 1.6, 1.7 seconds between each shot, but they were both misses. So Tyrell Eckhoff, perfect shooting, prone. Can she do the same standing? This, for me, looks very much like the discipline coming into the range that Tyrell Eckhoff showed us 7 times last year for 7 straight wins in this race. Nope, still not there. Still the confidence is missing. So a rebuild of nearly 10 seconds. And then another 5 there, so the rhythm not quite there either today. But 9 out of 10, 36.2 seconds, so she's lost at least 10 seconds on the range. And now she has to ski her way out of trouble. But certainly the determination for me is back, and the desire to get right up that scoreboard. Now this is Retsova. Now Retsova had one of her better ski times on Sunday. She was 7th fastest actually. That is her fastest ski time of the season. And normally she shoots very fast and normally very accurately. Okay, one's not a disaster yet, as Lisa Teresa comes in. So perfect shooting first time in. Now that's the best possible birthday present, so can do no more on the range. She now needs to put all her focus and determination, which she didn't show last week at home in Austria. She needs to put that now into the track. But it is going to be a fabulous new lead time of 17.3 seconds ahead of Sola. But do remember that Hannah Sola has missed 2 targets, and that's twice around the penalty of 150 meters. Annecy Bescon. You can see she still has a credit of 33 seconds. Fabulous. She can't do better than that. The spectators know their biathlon well. They know how difficult it is to hit 10 out of 10. And now it's all about the ski speed. Well, she's got the lead time ahead of Lisa Teresa Hauser. 4.5 seconds. Now that's a great benchmark to keep Annecy Bescon pressing hard. Denise Herrmann, it won't be the best time, certainly for much longer, but so far 21:10 to beat with 2 penalties. Now this is good. And then that slight hesitation of 3.4 seconds. She'd been building around 2.2, 2.7, held it a little longer, and sadly for Tandrevold, missing the last shot. So Denise Herrmann, philosophical at the end. She missed her very first shot. And that's always a little unsettling. But 21:10, that's possibly a top 10 end result time today. So into the range, Hannah Öberg. Just try to get a reading. Yes, 15 seconds deficit, and she's missing. So 1-1. Hasn't quite, again, found that winning formula she had back home. Reuschland seems to be on this winning formula streak. Certainly a very, very good start to her season. Already has 2 wins, and she's got the first targets down. Well, Denise Herman's time actually is looking good in terms of her track time. Annecy-Le having to move out of the middle lane into the right as we look back down the home straight, and it is a new winning time. Not by much, same shooting score as Denise Herman. And there's Lena Heike, 29.1 behind Sola's time. Irina Kizakiewicz. Excellent, 4 seconds and 3.4, 3.2s. So the time there you saw it, 32.8, but she plays safe and she tries to make sure she secures all shots on the target. Now then, Elvira Urberg. Elvira still 4th in the world. She needs this if she wants, well, potentially another top 5 result today, but she did miss 2 in prone shooting, remember. Lotte Lee always shoots well. Great statistics on the range, just lacking a few seconds on the track. Now then, Anais Chevalier-Boucher. Her shooting was unbelievably fast in prone shooting. She's tried for fast shooting again, didn't pay off for the second shot. Good discipline, she missed, she backed off a little in terms of shooting speed, but she still incurred 1 penalty. So very much focusing on the French athletes, and they really have lifted, for me, their level on the range. So we just saw older sister shooting, Anais Chevalier-Boucher. Now we got her younger sister, Chloé Chevalier. First time in. Well, the margins are so minute to miss a target. You just have to be off by less than half a mil and you will miss. Tirolekov, not the winning ways, but not bad at all. Her form, her self-belief. Remember, she did lose some 10 seconds on the range, and she's only 7.3 behind Annecy-Le. Well, on her birthday, Lisa Theresa Hauser really has found some spark and dynamic movements today, which she didn't have at home last weekend. And have a look at the time, 25 seconds to go, drop down towards the finish line. I think we're looking at the new best time. She needs to keep it pressed hard, and who knows, it could be the winning time for the rest of the day. It's a fabulous performance for the birthday girl. 12.9 advantage, Lisa Theresa Hauser. The perfect race, really, by her fitness and form at this time. She couldn't give more on the track. Maybe at the Olympics she'll find another 20, 25 seconds in terms of ski speed. Well, it's been close. Anais Bescon left the range some 3-4 seconds behind. Last point of checking, she was 3 seconds behind. So this is going to be tight. Actually 3 seconds advantage, 3.7. I'm just getting the reading at 6.5 kilometers. So this is looking like a brilliant day for Anais Bescon. What a performance. Not normally the fastest skier, but she's got the fastest time today. 9.5 seconds ahead of Lisa Theresa Hauser. In some ways spoiling the birthday party, but that is sport. But all the biathletes know and respect each other well. And the first to congratulate her was Lisa Theresa Hauser. Well, Ida Lien into range. It was only 7 seconds off the pace. Delighted for Annecy. And this is Annecy-Le really lifting, fighting so hard. I think she's out-skied her, well, predicted form, if you like, by some 20 seconds, 25 seconds. And that is the home advantage. Well, Tandrevold, we saw her hesitate and miss one shot standing. It would not have been the best time, but she certainly would have been pushing for, yes, certainly within 12, 15 seconds of the best time, but she's 49 adrift now. Well, we're not seeing much in terms of track, but we're seeing a lot of good shooting today. Lynn Pearson, another athlete hitting 10 out of 10. Just try and get a reading how many so far. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 athletes already. 9 athletes having hit 10 out of 10, and that's only with some 35 gone through. Hannah Öberg, well, she won't be happy with that. Of course she wants to win every time, but she's 27 seconds behind. The winner in the pursuit competition on Sunday, she started third, and she started 55 seconds behind the lead time. Oh, that was spectacular, and absolutely focused and absolutely determined. Reuschler, 19.7 seconds on the range. Well, that will threaten anybody to come and anybody ahead of her. Elvira Öberg, I don't think she's got enough time to try and pull this back. She hasn't. She's going to be, what, some 8 or 10 seconds off the lead time. But what a fabulous ski speed. Well, it's going to be less. She's going to be pushing for this win. How has she skied that fast? Just off the lead time. And Annecy-Le survives, but not by much. The 22-year-old has improved so much in terms of her ski speed. All of that improvement was created with good training throughout the summer months. You just simply don't have time in the winter months to actually get enough time actually to lift the ski speed. All of that hard training's been done in the summer. Well, as soon as I said we don't see much ski time, thankfully we're out on the track at 6.5. Alibekova not going to challenge for the lead time, but she certainly could challenge for the podium. She's in 4th place. How many times is it the last shot that biathletes miss? Well, it is the most common target because the mind thinks, right, it's going well, I just need to get out of here now. So another of the French biathletes, unfortunately for Agnès Chevalier-Boucher, she's missed one. And actually her ski speed, not quite what we witnessed in Austria last week. 32 seconds and still a way to go. Still somewhat 20 seconds to ski down into the stadium area. Very easy finish to the races here. And that's going to put Agnès Chevalier-Boucher down, what, 10th, 11th place, 10th place. So disappointment for Agnès Chevalier-Boucher, but still Annecy-Le at the top of the list so far. Zinara Alimbekova, take that one target. The best position as the sun comes out briefly through the early mist of the day. So Alinbekova, it's still absolutely fine for points. She's ranked 3rd overall in the total World Cup score. Well, it's bad news as we're looking at Retsova. Bad news for Agnès Bescon, because Reuschland is some 12 seconds ahead of Agnès Bescon. And Retsova coming in, well, just 11.3 off the pace. And knocking Alinbekova down by 1 position. Now Mona Brorsson. .27.4. She should say marginally slower than her teammate, the roommate Lynn Persson, but often the same score, and that's 90 or 100% hit rate. Well, here is Reuschland. She had a 12-second lead, and then it was 15 seconds. And certainly now it's looking more like 17 or maybe more, 18 seconds advantage as she comes up the top of the final big climb. Well, actually 17.5, so that is a real strong ski time considering she left the range. Just get confirmation, yes, 13.5 ahead. So Reuschland hitting the perfect 10, the same shooting score as Agnès Bescon. And here is Lynn Persson. Absolutely right side lead, trying to reach as far up into this steep climb as possible. The final climb actually before the easy descent to the finish line. So maximum performance on the range once again for Lynn Persson. Just lacking somewhat, 25 seconds in terms of ski speed. It's not much, over 7.5 kilometers. And Lynn Persson, 7th position. Well, as expected on the track profile here, very close times in this race. Reuschland, well, could this be her? She certainly will take the new league time. This could well be the 3rd victory of the season coming up for Reuschland. Incredible start to her season. She was leading at this time last year. She was leading by some 6 points. This year she's leading by nearly 40 points. In fact, after today, she'll be leading by more than 40 points, I would imagine. Hanna Sola's across the finish line. Alinbekova's across the finish line in now 6th position. So the day is looking better and better for Reuschland. Now then, this time last year, Dorothea Viera was 5th position. She's 22nd 1 year later. That's in the overall World Cup ranking, but that looks much better, 22.7. Now this is what we've become accustomed to over the last 5 or 6 years. Fast shooting, and today much improved ski time from Dorothea Viera. That's great news for Viera and great news for the Italian fans. And her Olympic journey now beginning to look a lot better. Now Vanessa Hintz, best of the Germans so far is Denise Herrmann at 10th position, 11th position I should say. Take that missed target away, and that could have been the best German result today. Well, the coaches go through a lot of nervous energy on the range, just hoping and praying those targets will go down. And this is actually a much improved Vanessa Hintz. The spark is there once again. So Kazakovic I think it was the last shot. I think I'm right in saying it was the last shot she missed. And some 55 seconds to this point, so she'll be just over a minute behind Reuschland, who's 15 seconds ahead of second place. So from Kazakovich at the finish line to Svetlana Mironova. Ski speed's okay, only 11.9 seconds behind Reuschland into the range, and that is competitive, considering that Reuschland has a lead of 15 seconds at the finish line. So, well, look at Vitozzi. She's definitely got the spark again, the drive. And it does in some ways at this location feel as if you're in Italy. Many aspects are similar to the lovely Antholz-Antwersilva venue, the wooden houses, the village feeling. But Vitozzi, it's still, well, over a minute behind, 1:03 behind. So other athletes, good to see Marie Eder, originally from Helsinki, just outside Helsinki. Married an Austrian and living down a lot of her time down in the Alps. That's a good performance from Marie Eder. She's 8th position. She only needs to find, well, 1/10 of a second to move up one place, then a further 4 seconds to move up one more place. Well, this is how it stands at the end. It's Reuschland at the top of the field, Bescon and Elvira Urberg. Hauser, the birthday girl, in 4th position, just knocked down. Now the race is still to come before Christmas, so this does give Reuschland a good advantage of 15 seconds leading into the pursuit competition on Saturday, and then it's the fabulous mass starts, men and women, on Sunday. Best 30 in the world line up alongside each other. 12.5 kilometers with 4 shooting, and it is a penalty loop, as it is today for any targets missed. Jean-Marc just lining his scope up to check the fall of these shots. I really feel for Mona Broersen. The ski speed was excellent, much improved at 4.4 seconds behind Reuschland. And so many times she can prove she gets 5 out of 5 standing, but certainly not today. So, best performance of the season for Marie Eder. She has shown much improved ski speed, and, well, look at that, 41 seconds, and that's with the target missed. A heartening performance before the Christmas break coming up soon. Now the Fialkova sisters, 3 years ago, they were both racing very, very well. It hasn't been so good since then until today. This is looking much, much better for Ivona. Now that little irritation with the empty shell not ejecting out of the chamber certainly put her off. And then the ski spool, she had it pulled, she had the basket the wrong way around and nearly pressed too far forward. Yulia Zima. I remember watching the Ukraine team down in Austria in September months on the glacier training. I had a team down there, and there was only one person in the whole team smiling all the time, and it's Yulia here. Really shining personality, but very serious team when it comes to training and on the range especially. As you'd expect, you need concentration to hit targets. Elina Kruchenkina, her twin sister at the races as well this season at the World Cup. And that's a good performance. Belarus team certainly growing in stature, with Sola in second place in the world overall and Alimbekova in third place overall. Anna Magnusson. How strange is that? She put the ball forward, but it had to go a further 1 millimeter forward. She had to recock it, and great discipline. Cost her a few seconds, 33.3. She's normally about 26. Now then, the ski speed is much, much improved. She's challenging for a win today. 3 seconds behind Dorothea Viera. In the old days, they would both have gone down. Supreme confidence, fearlessness, it's deserted her this season. She hit 7 out of 7. She hesitated, started thinking about the outcomes, and the outcomes would have been amazing. A real chance for a win today had those both gone down. But it's still very good to see Viera much more confident. She did sit out the relay, and maybe that rest or that change of scenery, change of every day pushing hard, has helped her find the magic again. Stina Nielsen, bib number 81, once again the least favoured start position, but Stina Nielsen, second fastest time of the day on Sunday in the pursuit competition. She really has found her ski speed here again in biathlon. So there's confirmation, Reuschland, Beschkamp and Öberg.
Some leaderboard, Mike.
Quite
and
amazing.
Eckhoff must have thought she was going to be on the podium today.
It felt that way, didn't it? She really, and she certainly looked more focused and dynamic, but tough one to beat is Reuschland at the moment.
Yeah, I'm just wondering how much of that is due to the fact that the Olympics is her main focus, and you know, the ski speed isn't there. Reuschland's certainly there, but Eckhoff 2 years ago won here missing a target, so she's some way off her best.
Yes, and so much in terms of any athletic performance is confidence, isn't it? And when it's not there, and it wasn't there previously with Dorothea Viera, but very much found some of it back today, and that's good news for, I think, the rest of her season.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people hoping that the lady in blue can do something today. Julia Simon with an uncharacteristically late start. Track-wise, I don't think it's going to cost too much, but her shooting has not been as good as last year, and so many of the big names struggling with the shooting this season.
It's been a huge surprise. Must say the shooting overall is good today. Very easy range to come into, and no wind influence at all.
Erdal, a steady 4 out of 5, but the standard has got so high. I seriously think this is going to be the best season we've seen on the women's tour, with so many in contention and exciting athletes like Stina Nielsen, who, if they shoot clear, can really do some damage. Look at the time, 6 seconds inside Chevalier Boucher coming into the range for the first time.
So expensive, that one shot missed. I thought she had all the discipline there, Patrick. I thought she had the rhythm, the feel, but she can ski her way out of trouble.
But she's starting to look much more like a genuine biathlete, isn't she, Mike? The position is consistent, much more stable. There's less movement when she recocks the weapon. It's not going to be long before she's a real threat, but I think everyone in the crowd willing her targets to fall simply because she's, you know, been such a big star on the cross-country scene.
She certainly has, so many times on the podium in cross-country. Was that 26 seconds? It's a lot to find, but she could ski her way out of trouble if she gets 5 out of 5 standing. I think she'll be hoping for certainly a top 3, maybe top 2.
Well, anything in the top 10 is good, and Julie Simon is skiing okay. I think that's an indication that the conditions aren't getting any worse, Mike. 3.2 inside Chevalier Boucher's time, and so it all comes down to the shooting yet again, but that's where she's been weak so far this year. 63% in the prone, so if 5 fall, the crowd are going to go ballistic. Oh.
Well, I was about to say there, the thing with Julie Simon, you never really know. She has some really strong days on the range, then some very many bad days, and then it comes back great again without any indication. But 1 penalty so far, she can still ski her way out of trouble.
A lot of the time we can put it down to conditions, but the likes of Eckhoff and Simon and Vera, it's all about confidence, and it seems bizarre. They've had so much success. Why should they be struggling now? And the reason is that so many youngsters are coming through and putting pressure on them. We saw that. The classic case was Johannes Tingesbø suddenly putting pressure on Martin Fourcade, and he could no longer do what he was so good at.
Psychology plays such a huge part, doesn't it, in every sport, but I think especially in biathlon. And I'm thinking of Stina Nielsen as Anna Magnussen comes in with a good performance. Stina Nielsen just needs 1 good performance for the selectors maybe to take some pressure off her. And there's Magnussen again having a good weekend, so it's tough to get into the Swedish Olympic team.
Yes, certainly is. They've got 4 in the top 12 at the moment, with Vera Öberg, the best of them, in 3rd position, 16 seconds outside. Lynn Persson, that was a good run from her, Mike, just 39 down. And the top, I suppose, Elvira with 2 misses, still in the top 3. What I like about her, not only that she skis fast, but she digs deep.
Oh, she really does, and there's no evidence, Elvira Öberg, with those 2 targets missed, finishing 3rd, no evidence that her ski speed is dropping back.
Now, what has Vera managed to do? 2 misses on the stand, as you saw, and as Mike said, totally uncharacteristic, or totally what we wouldn't have expected in past years. And Vera, 47, what's 2 penalty loops here? It's around 55 seconds. So she's pretty much keeping pace with the best. I think the ski form is coming, Mike, and when her ski form comes, the shooting so often follows just a little bit later.
Yes, I think so many in the Antholz Valley, all around Italy, will be cheering. They'll be saluting this performance, that at least they can see it coming back. The spark is there.
Yeah, mid-February. Just wait. The Eckhoffs, the Veras will be firing on all cylinders then, and we could be in for a cracking games. But I'm really excited about the season, because it's going to be a long battle, so close at the top of the table at the moment. Roysland, Sola, Olimpikova, Vera Öberg, the top 4 at the moment, or they were at the start of the day. We will try and update you before we leave. Always takes a few complicated calculations. Kadurish for Switzerland, that's a nice way to start. Lena Heike, the best of the Swiss in the finish area, at 23. Smooth enough as she comes into the finish take away the 26 seconds or so, so she's still 40 seconds off the pace of the best. Over 7.5k, that's still quite a big margin to make up. Pettisch from Germany. The Germans obviously had Denise Herrmann, who was the first away today. She's 48 seconds behind the leaders. Do you think the early starters might have any disadvantage?
I don't think so. The track was, the temperatures remained the same, and it was in the shade for the early starters, and very, very similar, I think, to the conditions we're seeing now. The track isn't breaking up, you can see there. So I think it's about as level pacing as we've seen all season.
Yeah, I didn't see the figures, but I did feel the flags were blowing a little more aggressively at the start of the run than they are now. And that might be part of the reason that Herrmann missed two, but always a tough stadium to go off first. So good to see some fans in the stadium, everyone obediently wearing masks, but we've had a few quiet weekends this season, and it was totally quiet all the way through last year.
And strange.
And actually, sorry, Mike, I was just wondering whether the French actually would have benefited from not having any fans here.
Well, they certainly have skied well today, haven't they? Annecy-Le especially, she's lifted her apparent ski form by somewhat 25 to 35 seconds. I mean, that's outstanding. So I think the spectators have been a refreshing feeling, certainly for the local team. Look at the ski time. It's still good here, Patrick. It's still running level.
You're going to give us a prediction? She was 26 behind going out, so she's gained 4 on that last loop.
I'd love to see her hit 5, but just get a feel that maybe 1 or 2 go wide.
Here we go. Stina Nielsen. Good shot.
Pretty good
shot. Yeah, 80%. That will do for now. She's still in the early days of her biathlon career. I think the coaches will be happy with that. And, you know, she put in one good performance in Hochfilzen last week. This goes down as a pretty handy performance. And if she goes in the top 20, she's going to be tough to drop, Mike. But she's got a problem. She's in the strongest women's team in the world now. Had she been Norwegian, she'd be in there.
Isn't it amazing? And she may well make it. Her ski speed, well, there's Anna Magnusson. It's the 4th Swedish athlete across the line, of 47 seconds deficit. And so maybe Stina Nielsen will have a chance of surpassing that time.
I think it might be a while before she's in the relay team. But, you know, she wants to be top 4 as many times as possible between now and the end of January.
Do you know the strange thing?
Would you take her to the Olympics?
I think I would. But the strange thing is the relays can sometimes give an athlete like that confidence with the 3 spare chances.
Now, Julie Simon, 5 out of 5. And, oh, there's the one miss. She's running on pretty much the same time as we just seen from Stina Nielsen, so she's got a race on her hands. She may well be getting split off the Swede, who is just a minute or so down the track. But that's a much better performance from Julia Simon. She'll regret the 2 misses, but nice to see her shooting well. She's had so many shoots this year where she's missed multiple targets. She missed 4 in the sprint in Hochfilzen on the prone, and that put her out of contention for the pursuit.
This is okay, Patrick. I think this is pushing for a top 10 performance, and maybe actually will push Tyrell Eckhoff down to, well, 12th position.
Yeah, 15th at the moment. And what was the margin? Just over 40 seconds in the finish. We've got 48 seconds separating the top 13. So if Simon can raise her game, a top 10 is possible. Mari Ada of Finland has had a good run, only 1 miss. She's in 9th at the moment.
I was hoping the Finns might bring Mäkäräinen back in as maybe a relay helper, but it certainly is an improving team, the Finnish team.
2 misses too many on that occasion. Great battle between the two Belarus athletes. Mike Olimpikova getting the better of Hanna Sola today, but only by a couple of seconds or so. Sola, 2 misses. The only person I can see skiing faster than her is Elvira Erberg, so she's still got the form.
She certainly has. What an improvement from Hanna Sola. She was ranked on this day last year as 60th in the world. This year around, she's 2nd in the world coming into this race.
Yeah. So as we watch San Filippo, I can tell you that Dorothea Vera has finished 18th, but is 0.2 of a second ahead of her teammate Vitozzi, who's down in 19th. That's good shooting. Nice fast shoot. Only 13 seconds behind coming in. And San Filippo, not the quickest shoot, but she's still there or thereabouts. What do we got in the top 10? About 50% of them have gone clear.
That's very good, and it was good to see Zingerle there scoping. In fact, he'll be very nervous today because, of course, his daughter for the first time is getting an outing in terms of World Cup racing. She's been very good as a junior, but Linda Zingerle, bib 87, I'll just have a look, see how she's getting on.
Yeah, I was trying to track down Benita Pfeiffer, who's number 99, not racing for Germany as you might suspect, but racing for Canada. And turns out she is the 3rd cousin of Aunt Pfeiffer. So they share the same great-great-grandfather. It's not far from the 6 generations removed, but there is a connection, and it made me wonder what sort of advice and what sort of kit she's got off him now that he's retired.
Hopefully his best skis, although they may not quite match up. Kadurish, that's a pity. She missed her 10th shot as well. So many today missing the 10th shot.
The last to start, Caroline Colombo. Imagine her heart sank when she saw her bib number last night. But she has all eyes in the stadium on her target.
Huge amount of movement throughout the rifle there when she recocks the rifle to put the next round up the chamber.
The new attachment on the end of her barrel, Mike, obviously weight involved, but is it to help with the horizontal alignment as well, to try and restrict the cant that you see on some of the athletes?
Yes, that is the theory, and as you said, adding also a little bit of weight. It seems, for me, it's I don't think I would like shooting with it, but you can get used to anything. But certainly on windy days. But yes, a number of the athletes, I think we've got about 5 to 10% of the athletes using that new foresight adaptation. Well, Stina Nielsen losing time, Patrick, on the last lap. She left the range looking as if she would challenge Eckhoff, but it's not to be.
Yeah, she's going to have lost almost 15 seconds on this last lap. Yeah, tough when she can't call on her trump card to pull her up a few positions, but you know, it's still a respectable run. She's going to be the 5th Swede out there, still well up in the World Cup points. A useful squad member to have, but not threatening the top 4 at the moment, as we go back to Julia Simon. And Simon, last time we saw her was in 14th place. She too losing a bit of time. This might be an indication that the conditions aren't getting any quicker, Mike.
Yes, just trying to see where the track, of course, local time, we're 3:15, just on 3:15 in the afternoon.
Yeah, she's got a few extra decibels from the crowd fairly partisan crowd here in just up above Albeville, and Simon with 42. Is she going to manage to make the top 15? Yes, she should do comfortably. Herman just gets pushed down one place, so 13th place for Julie Simon, and I think that's not a bad day's work. She's had some really disappointing runs, 66th in the last sprint, so she gets a decent start in pursuits.
Well, she certainly couldn't do much more, just dropping to the ground there, nothing left in her legs.
Yeah, some really good fighting performances over the closing stages. Elvira Erberg looked impressive, clawed her way back up into 3rd place. Denise Herman started one, down in 14. Dorothea Vera beaten by some far lesser known biathletes than herself. So let's look at the top 3. So much promise, Mike, and it must be fantastic for her to have the big sister, who's a champion herself, to feed off and race with.
Very much the motivator from when she was young, and I'm so happy for Agnès Bescon today. She's never normally fast enough to touch the podium in this race, the sprint race, but today she found that extra speed.
Yeah, and you put most athletes in yellow, they crumble. Not Roysland, leading the World Cup and winning again today. Her 3rd victory of the season. No one else has more than one. Is it going to be her season? A lot of the big names, when asked prior to the season who was going to win, went for Roysland rather than Eckhoff, simply because she's more consistent.
Yes, well, it's so strange, isn't it, the difference a year makes, because Eckhoff was so consistent after the early couple of races, World Cup races, the wobble she had last year, but then she found a magic vein of winning. As Weidel comes in, Patrick, I'm worried a little about Preuss not starting today, and she was quite late to pull out of the race, so hopefully we'll get more information on what happened this morning.
Yeah, well, Weidel missed out on last week because she was ill in the latter stages of the World Cups up in Östersund. She was replaced for Hochfilzen. I think it's going to take a while to get back to her best, but shooting well, hitting 10 out of 10. The coaches can't complain at that. Just needs a bit more form, and that will come maybe over the next couple of days as we see Berserger of Switzerland, another athlete with the 0-0. Not a bad tally in terms of clear shoots today. Normally, what do we get? 15 or so, 15% of the field going clear. I think it's going to be a little bit higher today.
Yes, it certainly is. Just the ease that they come down the valley and the lack of wind today as well. Berserger at 21, this is such a strong season. She just appears to be getting faster and hitting more targets. She's going in the right direction.
Yeah, we've got 18 out of 107 with the perfect score so far, so just over 15%. And San Filippo could join them.
Well, 90%, it's okay, it's good shooting. But San Filippo, the way she skis, ideally she would have preferred it to be 100% hit rate. Kadurish, another of the athletes missing the very last shot. And as Kadurish comes in, Patrick, just checking up on Andrea Zingerli, the scope man, the head coach for the Italian team, his daughter. She's only 19, 85th position at last point of checking.
So Berserger, I think, the second of the Swiss team behind Lena Heike. Bobenikva for the Czech Republic. Oh, just about to say it was looking good for a clear shoot, but no, that one thrown wide. And suddenly, instead of being in contention for a top 15, she's going to have to fight pretty hard to stay top 35. And, you know, it's not going to be an easy task to get herself some World Cup points. So that's a very, very expensive miss. What about Ushkina? in terms of psychology, Mike? Harder to hit 5 in the stand when you've gone clear on the prone and have that prospect of a clear shoot, or do you think that psychology doesn't apply?
No, I think you're right. It does apply. If you've hit the perfect 5 prone, I think it is marginally harder to then go ahead and hit the 5 standing. If you've missed one in the prone, somehow there's less pressure. It's a weird psychology.
Plenty of support for her as well, having started last. Haven't seen her race too much. It's only her 4th race of the season. Got a good top 21 actually in the sprint in Hochfilzen last week. Oh, disappointing. You can see it on her face. But that could well be the pressure of competing in front of home fans. And she'll be a little bit embarrassed with that. 3 misses on the stand. And suddenly she's got in excess of a minute on the penalty loop before she can get back out on that last loop. Kuklina, another athlete with 3 misses. Remember the penalty loop, 150 metres for both the men and the women. Wouldn't be beyond them to shorten the women's penalty loop, would it, Mike, and make the percentage penalty roughly the same?
Yes, I suppose if it was reduced to 130 metres percentage-wise, that would maybe match up a little better.
That would change a few races. Öberg would certainly have moved up a slot.
It actually would, undoubtedly, yes. I was just thinking the psychology of going last for Caroline Colombo, especially when for the first time in a couple of years we have spectators all the way around the track and you're racing at home. You've got the very last bib number. When she came into the stand shoot there, she looked so stressed, actually, so much pressure. She wanted it to go so well, but then she went and missed 3 targets, and then she was so tight on her skis again as she was going around the penalty loop, just frustrated with herself.
Lots of Norwegians out there. Them Steinovik. Look it up and see what Them Steinovik actually meant. What does Vic mean? 5 stones, it's a bit like Billy 12 trees. It's one of those great names. 232.
Yes, I was surprised when she did do very well at Junior Championships and then given a slot at the Senior World Championships where she missed 4 out of 5 first time in, but finishing 71st. And that was her last race at the World Champs. This hill is a long, gradual grind up to the high points here. Doesn't look much, but it's, I think when you're not skiing within trees or curvy, twisty section, it's even harder when you just have to ski a straight 400 meters long up a steep incline.
Yeah, it's a little bit like, in fact, it's a bit steeper than the back meadow at Hochfilzen that they do on that first loop. But I think you're absolutely right, Mike. If you can see what you've got to do, it hurts more, which is why a lot of athletes just look at their toes. So, Roisland, Bescon, Öberg, the top 3 here. That won't change. Hauser looked pretty good with a clear shoot, but she'll be disappointed to have lost 24, almost 25 seconds. Retseva with the best of the season. Limbakava and Hanna Sola, the 2 Belarus athletes, doing so well. They could be challengers for the overall come the end of the season. Are they going to join Daria Domracheva as a winner of the overall? Eckhoff, it's better, Mike, but still outside the top 10. 11th position, slowly climbing that World Cup table, but it's going to be a mighty task for her to defend the overall. I think the saving grace for Eckhoff is that there are so many athletes that can win at the moment.
Yes, the world has changed. The world of biathlon this year, the massive improvement from, as you say, Belarus athletes. And Roysland back at her best in nearly every race.
Yeah, really controlled, not suffering from the pressure of wearing the yellow bib one iota, and that was a rapid standing shoot from Roysland. Set her up for her third victory of the season. Is she going to do what Eckhoff did last year and get in excess of 15 wins? Well, that's it's not going to be easy, but it does look a little bit like it at the moment.
So only 2 minutes separating the top 60, who will start in that order, the reverse order. They will start in the pursuit on Saturday.
Yeah, 11 o'clock UK time, the start of that race. Should be a cracker. Love the head-to-heads. We had a good pursuit in Hofilsen last week, and with all the big names up there, Mike, one or two have got work to do. Vera likes coming back up the field in the pursuits. Be interesting to see what she can do. But I think the old guard as such, they've got a problem, because these youngsters like Sola and particularly Erberg are so quick.
Yeah, very, very surprising how fast Elvira is coming into this new season. I hope she can hold it all the way through to the Olympic Games and to the end of the season. But massive improvement.
Yeah, who will you back for Olympic and overall World Cup glory over Sola and Elvira Erberg?
I do think that Tirol Eckhoff is going to find her way. Certainly the way she looked on the range, she was just a small margin off, and she's still going to find 25-second ski speed. That's to match Roysland. But I think Eckhoff will be coming back, and maybe will be the one to chase at the Olympics.
Natalia Ushkina with 2 misses, as you can see. She shot clear actually in Östersund, still finished down in 91st position. So that is a much better run. 53rd, despite the fact that she's missed twice. She's picked up a lot of ski speed over the last 2 weeks. Day off for the women tomorrow. They'll enjoy that. The men's sprint starting at pretty much the same time, just 12:15 UK time. That's going to be another fascinating encounter. Hopefully the conditions stay the same. It is stunning, stunning scenery here. Annecy-Le Bornand. The skiing pretty easy. The tourist skiing, Mike. It's gradual climbs. It's friendly.
It is, and yes, all the way up the end of the valley where we see the long climb. Some 10 kilometres up that valley. It's lovely skiing. And another little shooting range further up as well. Another 5 kilometres further up the valley.
Yeah, and they do the best hot chocolate in France, so you can do worse than come and spend a week here. And then, of course, a trip to Annecy. Prove a bit expensive, but well worthwhile. So Kim into 100th position, missing out. I was just going to give you the update on the top 60. I think it's going to be a little bit less than the 2.5 minutes we normally see, isn't it, Mike?
I think so. This course lends itself to a tighter finish. What are we looking at? Yes, you're right. 1:56, the 60th position athlete today. Well, there's Colombo. It's so frustrating for her. She'll be so disappointed, wanted more at home, but delighted to see the spectators still giving her all the support no matter what.
Yeah, but you can see there's no celebration there. Those 3 misses in the stand. She's dug deep, but yeah, she's totally frustrated. This was her big chance to make an impression. And one good race here. I remember Gigener having an absolutely stunning race, and suddenly everyone wanted a piece of him.
Yes, and I think it was he, after his press conference later, he said it was just lying on the mat in the hot sunshine. He relaxed so much he brought it to it.
So there are your top 20 in today's women's sprint, and then they do battle in the pursuit again on Saturday. So I hope you can join us for that. Roysland, the champion today.
Marte, congratulations. It's been a while since a sprint win, but perfect time, great ski time. Can you describe the day?
I am so happy about my race today. It was almost a perfect biathlon race. My shooting is really good, and yeah, I'm so happy to be on top today.
And how does it feel to have this crowd behind you?
I can't. It's just unbelievable. It's so many people here, and I think it will be even more in this weekend. And just I can't hear what you're saying because they're so loud. Yeah, that's so. It's so. I enjoy every second of it to race here.
You should, and you're doing great. So congrats.
Thank you.
espère encore plus de monde demain. Oui, il y aura encore plus de monde demain et on ne parle même pas du week-end où le site est plein comme un œuf. Il n'y a plus une place possible pour profiter ici en live de cette Coupe du Monde. Donc, pas de soucis. Il y aura du monde pour le courage encore sur la suite.
Les classements qui s'égrènent avec également mon cher Pierre avec désormais plus de 60 points d'avance pour marquer un court retard sur Villara avec Gaba. J'appuie un petit peu sur ces 60 points car vous le savez très certainement, c'est le nombre de points pour une victoire. Voilà, tout simplement. C'est-à-dire que marquer au court retard à l'heure actuelle, c'est créer une victoire d'avance au classement général. Alors je ne vais pas rentrer dans les détails, mais vous le savez aussi bien que moi, à la fin de la saison, on retire les deux moins bons résultats de la saison. Je pense en plus que ça augmente encore un petit peu plus l'avance de Matteo Bornand qui a eu deux résultats un petit peu moyens. Allez, on va dire que c'est après la 10e et la 4e place. C'est pas des catastrophes. Et sinon, 5 podiums. Je le rappelle, 5 podiums, dont 3 victoires. Donc cette dame-là qui est en train de se détacher, j'allais dire de manière irrémédiable. Ça, c'est pas dit. On verra en janvier, bien sûr, avec les classiques allemands et en Colts avant les Jeux. Et c'est vrai que cette année, les Jeux, par exemple, ne comptent pas pour le classement général de la Coupe du Monde, ce qui est en règle générale le cas des championnats du monde qui, eux, comptent pour le classement général de la Coupe du Monde. Donc c'est un écart encore plus marquant, on en a dit, que celle de l'UNEF, en année standard de championnat du monde.
It's great. It's so nice. Was it nice for you too? Okay. Is it crowded and everything? Yeah.
Even if you're not from France.
Yeah, sounds nice.
Vice President, as well as François Assor, Mayor of the City and Urban Committee Vice President.